Mercury is small, blazing hot, and mysterious. For centuries, this tiny world has been one of the most puzzling planets in our solar system. At first glance, it seems like a barren, lifeless rock, a place no one would expect to find anything extraordinary. But recent discoveries have completely shattered this assumption. Beneath its scorched surface, Mercury is hiding some astonishing secrets. And the more we learn, the more we realize just how much we still don't know. From volatile elements to strange magnetic fields, there's much more to Mercury than meets the eye. So buckle up, because the deeper we dig, the more mind-boggling revelations we uncover about Mercury's surprising mysteries. Mercury is the smallest planet in our solar system, but its size is no indicator of its importance. For years, scientists thought of Mercury as little more than a burnt-out, pockmarked rock, its surface covered in craters and scarred by impacts from comets and asteroids. It wasn't until recent missions, like Messenger, that we began to truly understand the complex nature of this world. Initially, we thought it was a lifeless desert with extreme temperatures. But the reality is far more interesting. Thanks to advanced technology and space missions, we've been able to peer beneath Mercury's surface and discover mysteries that no one could have predicted. The story of Mercury's secrets starts way back in 1973 when NASA's Mariner 10 spacecraft made the first close-up observations of the planet. The images it sent back showed a world that looked strangely similar to Earth's moon, cratered, dry, and barren. Yet there was something about this tiny planet that hinted at deeper secrets waiting to be uncovered. In 2004, the Messenger mission took things to a whole new level. Unlike Mariner 10, which only flew by Mercury, Messenger orbited the planet for years, taking more than 200,000 high-resolution images and gathering data that would change everything we thought we knew about Mercury. One of the most surprising revelations came when Messenger discovered that Mercury's surface was rich in calcium and magnesium, elements that suggest the planet has a much more dynamic and complex history than we previously thought. But the most astonishing discovery was evidence of volcanic activity on Mercury, which suggests that the planet may not be as geologically dead as we once assumed. The presence of pyroclastic deposits, signs of explosive volcanic eruptions, showed that Mercury may have been far more active in the past than we thought. Now, let's talk about one of Mercury's most bizarre features, its day-night cycle. Usually, planets rotate and orbit the Sun in predictable patterns, but Mercury is anything but predictable. A single Mercurian year, the time it takes Mercury to orbit the Sun, lasts only 88 Earth days, which sounds short enough. But here's the kicker: Mercury's day, the time it takes the planet to rotate once on its axis, actually lasts an astounding 176 Earth days. That's twice as long as a single year on Mercury. This means that on Mercury, you could experience 2 full years before you see a complete day-night cycle. Can you imagine watching the sun rise, stop in the sky, reverse direction, and then continue its path all over again? That's exactly what happens on Mercury due to its strange 3-to-2 spin orbit resonance. This unique rotational pattern leads to some of the most extreme temperature swings in the solar system. On the sun-facing side of Mercury, temperatures can soar to a scorching 430 degrees Celsius, 800 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to melt lead. While the dark side can plummet to a freezing -180 degrees Celsius, -292 degrees Fahrenheit. The stark contrast between these temperatures makes Mercury one of the most extreme worlds in terms of temperature fluctuations. The mystery of Mercury's magnetic field is another one of Mercury's most perplexing features. Earth's magnetic field is created by molten iron moving in its core, but Mercury's field is much weaker and much more unusual. Scientists have long wondered how such a small planet could generate a magnetic field at all, let alone one that is offset from the planet's center. What's behind this oddity? How does Mercury manage to keep its magnetic shield in place, and why is it so much weaker than Earth's? This magnetic field plays a critical role in protecting the planet from the solar wind, a constant stream of charged particles coming from the Sun. Without this protection, the planet's thin exosphere would be quickly stripped away, leaving the planet even more vulnerable. Speaking of the exosphere, it's not exactly an atmosphere by Earth's standards, but it's still a fascinating feature. Mercury's exosphere is a very thin layer of gas that is constantly replenished by solar wind, impacts from micrometeorites, and radiation from the Sun. Interestingly, Mercury's exosphere contains water vapor, a compound that under normal circumstances shouldn't exist in such a hot, dry place. This discovery suggests that the planet's surface may be interacting with the solar wind in ways that we didn't expect, and that Mercury's surface is far more chemically complex than we once thought. The presence of water vapor raises some interesting questions. Could Mercury have hosted life, or at least the building blocks for life, in the past? Could the planet's extreme conditions be hiding something even more extraordinary? Mercury's core, a world of surprises, is one of Mercury's most remarkable features. In fact, Mercury's core takes up about 85% of the planet's total volume, making it the largest core relative to the size of the planet in the entire solar system. This enormous, iron-rich core has been a subject of great mystery. Why is it so large? Could it be the result of a giant collision early in the planet's history, when Mercury may have been much larger and then had its outer layers stripped away by an impact? Recent research suggests that Mercury's mantle, what's left of its outer layers, is much thinner than we once thought. In fact, there may still be volcanic remnants beneath the surface, showing that Mercury wasn't always the dead, quiet planet we believed it to be. There are signs that Mercury might have once had a more active geological history, including evidence of ancient magma oceans that could have shaped its surface in the past. Could Mercury have once been capable of supporting life, or at least conditions that could have nurtured the beginnings of life? Water ice at the poles, perhaps the most astonishing discovery of all. These permanently shadowed craters, places that are so cold that sunlight never reaches them, contain frozen water that never melts, despite Mercury's proximity to the Sun. Could this water ice be hiding organic compounds, the building blocks of life? Some scientists believe this ice could hold the key to understanding how life might have originated elsewhere in the solar system, and whether Mercury could have once supported primitive life forms. The future of Mercury exploration. As we look to the future, we have even more exciting missions to look forward to. The Bepi-Colombo mission, launched in 2018, is a joint venture between the European Space Agency, ESA, and the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, JAXA. Bepi-Colombo will reach Mercury in 2025. This mission promises to bring us even closer to understanding the planet's surface, core, and magnetic field. Every new discovery about Mercury changes the way we view this tiny, mysterious planet.